All right. So, hello everyone. Welcome to GMS live stream number 2. This is going to be your time on GMS. Um, it's me, Mitchell, and Michael, your recruitment coordinators. And Randy could not join us today, so it's going to be just us. And we have a Zoom call going, so it's a little different from last time, but we're going to try to make it work. So, first up, we have the table of contents. Basically, what we're going to be going over is the structure of the team, what an average year looks like for us, what to expect as a new member in GMS, and then we're gonna do a little Q&A if we have people join us. So, Michael, if you want to start us off with the team structure.
Yeah, sure. The structure of the team is usually divided into management versus technical. So on the management side, that's where you would have your e-board. So this is any executive position where you're not necessarily doing engineering for these positions, but these are all very impactful positions on the team. So a lot of the times you'll be dealing with sponsorships, find like financial stuff, recruitment, dealing with alumni, and just reaching out and talking to as many people as possible. So on the technical side, that's where you would have your engineering leadership. So you usually see your captain, your co-captain, system lead, system engineers. And when you join the team, this is really the side that you get into right away. So after that, we have the business team. So we talked a little bit about this in our first live stream, but really, if you have any interest in the marketing side of the team, that's where you would want to go into. So when you first join the team, you're known as a new member. So essentially, what that means is you just joined. You don't really have too much experience under your belt. You really need to learn a lot, and that it's really your time to grow and develop as an engineer. So usually, as a new member, that's where you would start off learning. That's where you would get machine trained, and then slowly but surely, you would expand your knowledge with projects and just manufacturing time. Do you think I covered everything there, Mitchell, or do you want to add?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that the business team, you do not have to be a business major to join. And in the same way, if you are a business major, you can join the engineering team as well as the business team. And for the business team, they also do a presentation at competition, so they have a big role in our team. So.
Yeah, so this is just kind of a chart of what I was just going over. So these are
Yeah,
all.
that's
Uh,
that's like just all the roles on the team, basically.
mhm. And obviously, under each system, you would have your system engineers, and you don't need to necessarily apply to join any system. You can join any system that you want. It's completely up to you.
And
Just
again, it's not major specific which system you join. So if you're an
yeah.
EE, you don't have to join electrical. You can join whatever you want.
Mhm. And just here, I
Oh,
just over one more
yeah,
thing.
for sure. Yeah.
For each system lead, for each e-board position, and then obviously for captain, president, co-captain, we have elections that take place at the around the end of the season each year. So that's how those positions are decided.
Yeah. Is that good? You think you?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Okay. So now we're gonna go over our annual schedule, basically what a year looks like for GMS. Um, so during summer, we like just after the spring semester ends, we review our performance at competition, and we begin to start designing what our car is going to look like for the next season. So this is when we submit our design intents and basically just try to set goals for the next season. And then in fall, we start to kind of move towards finalizing those designs and um, validating them through testing and stuff like materials testing and testing on the actual car and stuff like that. And then we can begin manufacturing parts that we need for the next car. Winter break is when we usually do most of the manufacturing for all of the systems. It gives us a lot of time where we don't have to worry about classes or anything else. And we can just focus on just knocking out a ton of parts because we do a lot of manufacturing in-house. So, and at that point, we can begin the assembly of the car, things like mounting systems onto the frame because frame is usually getting welded at that point. And yeah, and then spring is when we shoot for first drive. So first drive is our first actual testing session, um, and that is just like a really bare bones test to just make sure the car runs. And then from there, we can begin spring break testing or just testing in general, where we start to put new systems on the car and like finalize those systems and just make sure everything works and that we're ready for competition. And then the entire cycle starts over again. So, do you think I covered everything, Michael?
So I would add that there is no real time that you can't join the team. You can join the team whenever you want. Um, like there's nothing stopping you from joining spring. There's nothing stopping you from joining fall. You can just join whenever.
Yeah.
And another thing that's important to mention is for winter break, you are not required to stay if you want to have a role on the team. It is not a completely necessary thing. However, it is highly recommended because I can say for certain that that is where I probably learned the most during
Yeah, same.
first couple months on the team. It's a very important experience, and honestly, it's a whole lot of fun. That's something that you really have to remember about this whole experience is it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So here we have what to expect as a GMS new member. Michael, if you want to go ahead and talk
All right,
about
yeah,
this.
I'll take it away. So the first thing that you do when you walk in the shop or join the team is we go ahead and give you a little introduction to the team. So that's kind of what we're doing with these live streams is trying to replicate that in the online environment. So after that, you would move into your SolidWorks training. So the reason why we start everybody off with SolidWorks is it's one of the only constants that you really have on the team. So no matter what system you join, you're going to be using SolidWorks. So that's why that's usually, or it is the first thing that you do on the team. So after that, you move into new member projects. So these projects can range from anything, whether it be just very, very basic design help. I know a previous example of a new member project was one of our current system leads actually, he redesigned, I believe, the inboard ends of the suspension system. So just because these are called new member projects, I would not call them very simple, just kind of time wasters. Like you will have an impact if you apply yourself.
And at the same time, it teaches you a lot about the systems. Like it's a really good introduction to where you're kind of forced to learn about what you're going to be working on in the future. So it really sets you up nicely for being an actual system engineer.
Yeah, it does. Um, so after that is, or really, I guess research goes hand in hand with new member projects. You really just want to learn as much about whatever system you want to get into as possible. So I would like to state again that it is completely your choice what system that you do. And usually, when we have new members doing these projects or this research, it does not limit them to that system for their rest of the time on the team. Um, It's a very important thing to remember. So another thing that you would typically do as a new member is attend testing. So this was mentioned before by Mitchell, is where we take the car out to a track and we run it. So it's a great experience your first time going to testing, because you get to really remember that we actually design and build a car every year. And it's an amazing thing, and it's crazy to watch the car run for the first
Oh,
time.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
an experience.
It's crazy every time.
True. But that nothing beats that first time, you know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All right. So after that testing, where again I would like to state, you learn a whole lot about the car. You learn how it runs. This is where you would learn like your very, very technical just car stuff. You know, it's important to learn. It's fun time, you know. Um, After that, or not necessarily after that, but we have our manufacturing period. So we typically like to, or we do train new members on the machines. So our mill and lathe before the manufacturing season. So we typically select these new members from whoever we feel is doing the best job of learning and who really has the most drive. This is not really us picking and choosing because for the sake of picking and choosing. It's just that we do not have the capacity to train everybody who walks through the door. So yeah, right after that, typically you would assist, preferably your system that you could have chosen by now, with whatever they need help on. And on the other side of that, you could help any system in general. Um, it's really whatever you want to do, and at no point does it really become a job, you know. But after that is typically where you would experience your integration into whatever system that you want to be on. So this is kind of, after all of this, it's kind of where you pretty much know where you're going to end up. So at that point, you really start getting into projects for the team. You might get some more design work, and you really start to learn about your system. So after that, let's say you are a first year and you went through this process. You're now integrated into, let's say, suspension. So the year after that, you would not instantly be thrown into a lead role, preferably. The way it works is you would start off with more design work. And the whole idea of that is we're just trying to ease you into the process and get you used to the team. So during the second year is where you really learn all about your system, and you become an engineer that is very capable of engineering, I guess, you know. So this is where you would really establish yourself on the team. This is where you would just get these very, very meaningful projects. And yeah, after that, you could go for a system lead role in your third year, and then do whatever comes with that. And then typically after you're done with that role, you could run for an e-board position, or just kind of take a step back and be a mentor. It's really what you want to do. Can't stress that enough.
Yeah, we don't hold people hostage, but like we said in the first one, you get out what you put in. So if you keep working hard on the team, you'll have a lot to put on your resume, that's for sure. And of course, as we know, that'll take you far. And aside from that, you'll get a lot of fun experiences that really can't be traded for anything else.
Absolutely. All right. So Mitchell, did I miss anything whatsoever in that spiel?
I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, that sounded pretty good to me. Um, honestly, I don't know what else there really is to talk about.
Actually, I did miss something.
Oh,
So
did you?
hopefully, in the fall, we'll be able to have new member lectures.
Hmm.
That's something that I forgot to put down on the slide, but basically what those are is if you want to look at our Instagram system introductions as the very, very basics, our first live stream as our just basics, our new member lectures would just kind of be like an in-depth introduction to each system.
Mhm. Yeah, good call talking about those.
Yeah.
Yeah, those can kind of give you a much better sense of which system to join because it really goes into what work the system does more than just a general description of what parts they make. You know, it talks about the uh, the software that they use and just like how they test and validate and yeah, what it means for them.
Yeah, an important thing to remember is the manufacturing of each system is very different.
That's very true. Yeah.
You know, for example, if you're doing fueling or frame, you're going to be welding. Um,
Yeah.
at the same time, if you join a system like suspension or aero, you will never touch a welder because you don't have.
Yeah.
And
And
not really saying like, oh, this system is good for this reason, but it's the team kind of gives you a variety of things to choose from.
oh, definitely. Yeah.
That's a great thing about the team is you can do basically whatever you want as an engineer. You can approach on the team. So, for example, if you want to look into fluids, you know, you could do intake, exhaust, fueling, even aero to a certain extent.
Mhm.
You want to do just basic mechanics, or not basic mechanics, but very advanced mechanics. You can do suspension, aero, frame. You know,
Mhm.
there's a very wide range of things to choose from, and it's an important thing to remember.
And that's not to say that some systems don't get they don't really like miss out on the other things that systems are doing because um, a lot of systems are still like they have all sorts of different manufacturing processes and design processes. So like some systems will do multiple different types of manufacturing, like just like welding and composites and stuff like that. So you're definitely not limited if you join one system. And if you join a system that doesn't happen to do composites, then you can ask to help out with composites, like help Arrow out because they always need help. So
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about being a new member is I really cannot understate or overstate how important you are as manufacturers. That's
mhm.
that's really the main role that you take your first year on the team, and it's an incredibly important role too. You know, is we really rely on new members to help us out with manufacturing, and it's a very rewarding feeling to spend so much time manufacturing, then go out to your first test session where it's a car that you helped build, and it's a unique feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely it's yeah, I agree. It's one of a kind that you get to hold something that you personally manufactured. It's a really, really cool thing to experience.
And it's a whole nother thing to see it racing on a track.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to cover anything else?
I think we pretty much got it. Yeah, I'm not sure what else there really is to say.
Yeah. Again, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us,
Mhm.
whether it be through the Instagram, through our email, however you guys can contact us. Please do. Please ask us questions. We want to help
We're
you guys.
always happy to answer.
Yeah, we really want to help you guys get into the team. And
Mhm.
just because of the online format, I don't or I can't stress enough that if you reach out to us, we will get you busy and we will help you learn. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching this. Um, we will see you in the next live stream.
All right, thanks, guys.